Welcome back. In this video, we're going to head to Act 2, but before we head that direction, I just want to talk about what we could do because there's still some stuff left to do in Act 1 if we're interested. So we could still interact with Lady Esther if we would like to. So if we refuse to give her the egg and tell her that she's a terrible person, that'll start combat. We could fight her if we wanted to. She's worth about 75 experience. There are some undead at Death Shepherd, some ghouls that are just further up the trail, heading up the mountain pass. There's a couple hundred experience there. There are the gnolls and hyenas from Act 1. If we were interested in making speed potions or collecting a little more experience, we could go there. There's the hook horrors and Filro the Forgotten that are in the Underdark we didn't do, and a couple of minotaurs. There's a few hundred experience there. So there's maybe a couple thousand left. We still need about 6,700. It's not going to be a problem. There's tons of extra experience in the game. We'll hit level 12 relatively early in Act 3, and that's the cap for the game. I don't feel the need to do those, but you certainly can. So feel free to finish up whatever stuff it is that you feel is outlying or that you'd like to enjoy doing. But if you're going to do that, I don't know what will happen if you take additional rests. It's possible that Mizora might show back up. I haven't tested that, so I can't tell you what all of the things that might happen are. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop back and talk to Blurg and the dwarf vendor in the Myconoid colony. Then we're going to head to Grimforge, and we're going to go to the Shadowlands via the Grimforge entrance, and that's going to put us closer to the House of Hope. I'm sorry, not the House of Hope. That's going to put us closer to the Last Light End. Sorry. So we'll go ahead and select that we want to go to the Myconoid colony, and what this is going to do is we're going to have a scene changeover for Lizelle. So we'll get the note that we're changing regions, which is going to force a camp visit. If we wanted to, we could swap out for Asterion here and rob Barkus and Volo one last time before we leave. We could even see what they have for sale. The only thing that would be super worth it here is Scrolls of Conjure Elemental.
My good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much.
We'll just see what he's got. And there's nothing that's super attractive here, so we've already got scrolls of these spells. And so we're just going to leave. And he's going to follow us to Act 2, and he'll be a vendor in our camp there too. We're just going to lose access to Barkus in our camp. He'll still be a vendor in Act 2, but just not available. We could follow up with anybody else if we wanted to talk to them, but we're just going to go to bed and head straight to the cutscene.
Supreme Kithrak, has Vlaakith sent you to slay me with your own blade?
I've not come to kill you, Lae'zel. I've come to aid you.
Don't trust him.
Skakek Kier Gith Shabeleth. My blade rests. Mother Gith compels you to listen.
So this is the same guy that we ran into that was riding the Red Dragon when Lizelle confronted the Gith in the mountain pass. And we're just going to let Lizelle take the lead here.
Speak. My ear is yours.
I know you carry the astral prism, Lae'zel. Within it lies the seed of Vlaakith's demise, and I intend to help you bring it to fruition.
Vlaakith's demise? Skaketh. I should run you through for suggesting it.
So we'll ask who the person inside is and get kind of a misleading answer.
If they have not said, they must have good reason, and I won't be the one to betray them. But the one inside's chosen you as an ally, protects you with their power. That very power will be the end of Vlaakith's tyranny. The prism's tenant must be let loose. I've sought their freedom for eons. When the prism went missing, I feared the worst. Instead, you've granted the opportunity I've so long awaited. All that remains is the key that unchains them. And I've found someone who I believe can provide it. Bring the prism to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting in a taproom called Shares's Caress. That is where we decide the fate of my people. Lae'zel, together we will break our chains and be Vlaakith's slaves no longer.
I am no slave, Still Kithrak. The Undying Queen is my freedom. It is she who will purify me, and she who will ascend me.
Lies, Lae'zel. Every last one. There is no purification, no ascension. The Zaith-Isk does not purify, it extracts memory and kills the infected. Nor does the Lich Queen glorify the ascended. She feeds on most all of them to grow her power and pursue godhood.
Madness. You flood me with this heresy. I will hear no more of it.
And we'll just say that we've got Lae'zel's back. Everyone likes that.
I served Vlaakith the whole of my life. Learned her words, fought her battles. Yet she names me her Sharlak. Your words carry truth. I will meet you in Baldur's Gate. Do not make me regret it.
Lae'zel, I see Talak Magir in you, sister in freedom. Together we will be our people's light. Take this. It is a Quanith, a psionic detector. The Queen's warriors hunt you. The Quanith will sound you out when you come near their portals. Hear its cry and prepare for battle, or slip away. I should go. Vlaakith's gaze pierces the seas and skies. She believes me loyal, and I can't afford her mistrust. Keep the astral prism close. Let no one take it from you. Slay any who try. Now to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting, Lae'zel.
Have to keep going.
And we'll head down and talk to Lae'zel.
Vlaakith Kosivim Krashet. Only in Vlaakith may we find light. These were the first words I ever read on Tirsu's slate. But they are no mere aphorism. They are law. They are creed. The root from which the 10,000 protocols stem. Forsake one protocol, and forsake Vlaakith. Forsake Vlaakith, and be the blood and meat which sates her dragons. If Voss speaks true, if Ascension is a lie, if tadpole purification is a fairy tale, then I have not sinned against Vlaakith. She has sinned against me.
So Lae'zel is a bit of a religious fanatic, and she's having a crisis of faith. We'll ask about what Ascension is.
Ascension is a young Githyanki's greatest honor. Long ago, the Geich enslaved my people. They dominated our minds and bred us for war, until Great Mother Gith took a hammer to our bonds. From the day of our hatching, young Gith have one purpose: to train hard enough to slay a Geich and take its head. Then, we speak the rite of Ascension, and a red dragon comes to fly us to Vlaakith in Tunarath, City of Death. We are honored with an eternal home in the astral, celebrated for our victory. We are ascended. Or so I believed.
So we'll ask about Voss and Blacketh being a tyrant.
I'd never thought Vlaakith a tyrant, or me as a vassal. She was the source of my might, and I the envoy of her will. A warrior, a champion, a destroyer. But if Voss is right, and Vlaakith consumes the Ascended to gain power, then I am no destroyer. I am mere livestock, bred to be harvested and devoured. Every Githyanki is a slave with a singular purpose. Not to cull the Geich, not to prevent their grand design, but to raise Vlaakith to true godhood.
It is probably hard to find out your cult leader is a cult leader. We'll ask who she thinks is in the prism.
I don't know. I can't know. And that drives me mad. At first, I thought them an illithid deception, a trick of the tadpole. But the dream figure is real. It lives in the prism. Voss believes they are the seed of Vlaakith's demise and the agent of Githyanki freedom. And I believe he may be right.
And we'll ask if he's wrong.
Then, when the Kithraki come for me, and come they will, I will submit to their blades. They would feed me to their dragons, and I would deserve no better.
And then we'll just move on.
Yes. I'd like time to think. We'll meet Kithrak Voss at Shares's Caress in Baldur's Gate. Until then, be vigilant. Vlaakith's eyes are upon us.
And then we'll leave. And that's the end of the cutscene, and we'll head back to the Myconoid colony, so we'll get to bed. And then we can see that we just have the option here to leave camp. And we'll go back and get the loading screen. This may move faster for you than for me. When I'm recording these videos, it slows the game down pretty significantly. All right, so audio's cutting back in, and here we are in the video. And you still, Will still looks just like regular Will. And our giant strength has expired, so we're moving a little slow. We're going to talk to Blurg.
Welcome back. Have you made any new discoveries?
If we were interested in dealing with Omelium and picking up a different illithid power, again, this would be a situation where if you have someone you know you're going to have become a Mind Flayer, there's a power that you can get called Survival Instinct from dealing with Omelium, who Blurg will summon if we ask about why we're here and talk a little bit further. We even have the ingredients that we got from the Mage's Tower. So this is the chance, if we wanted to use that. If no one else is around and Karlach walks over, then the Omelium scene will play out for Karlach or any of the other characters that you'd like. If you do the Omelium quest, I would say that he's got a book in his inventory, which is one of the Sage books that you can use, and he has an item called the Pearl of Power, which is definitely worth buying, as it'll restore a spell slot of up to level 3. We're not going to do those, so we're just going to see if he's got anything to trade, because he's got a lot of money.
Bargain. If anything in my private collection is to your liking.
And his scrolls will update, so you can see he's got a scroll of telekinesis, and a scroll of confusion now. And mostly what we're here to check for is that he might have a scroll of summon elemental, and that's what we would really want if we could get it. I'm just going to get rid of a bunch of deadweight stuff here. So empty bags. You see we still haven't consumed Auntie Ethel's hair. Not particularly important for this run. We might get around to it. Don't need a scroll of animal friendship or Bestial Curse. What we really want to get rid of is things that are heavy. So like a regular short bow, a helm. We've got the original character's boots and robes and stuff. This loot. We're not going to put together the icy staff. We could if we wanted to, but since we're leaving the act, that's not going to come up. And we'd like to get down under the regular weight limit so we can get rid of some of this stuff. Since we've got a little bit of spare room, we do find Blurg again later in the game, so he appears as a vendor in Act 3 as well. We're not going to use this Poisoner's Robe. We're not going to use the Robe of Summer. If we had a monk, this might be okay. We're going to get rid of that as well. We won't use the Spiderweb boots anymore. We're never going to use this great sword, although you can rack up quite a bit of psychic damage if that's the thing you're trying to do. We won't use Sorrow. We probably will not use this regular Great Axe anymore, as we have a Magic Halberd. We won't use Deep Delver. If we ever wanted to come back and buy these again, we can in Act 3. So we'll just get rid of a bunch of equipment that we're not going to use. Thanks, Blurg.
Very well. I have mushrooms to catalog.
And we'll come over here and talk to Dareth. Again, she always says that she's leaving, but she won't leave until we do. She shows up in Act 3 as well as a merchant. And one of the reasons that we like her so much is that when we gave her the noble stock, she will sell it in Act 3, and she'll have multiples.
We'll be clearing out soon enough. No point in lingering now I've got the noble stock.
We'll see what she's got. And we don't see any bombs. Oh, we do see a bomb. There we go. We take a look. She's upgraded her inventory as well, so she's got some more advanced potions. We used a couple of giant strength potions, so we can pick up a spare. If we ever needed a jump potion, we might. Sea invisibility is pretty good. And one of the reasons that we don't need Volo to act right away is the fact that we do get access to potions of sea invisibility, and there just aren't that many invisible things that we're going to run into. And that looks like everything that we are going to want from her this round. We don't have a lot of use for Herbalist Gloves. We could pick up the Ring of Jumping, but very seldom are we going to want to use a ring slot for a jump spell when we could just use a potion. This flail doesn't do enough damage for us to care about, and one healing word or mass healing word. Our goal is to not need healing words, so let's not plan for failure. She also picked up the Temesk spores and the other items that Aemelian would want for his quest, so if you had happened to sell them, those aren't the only ones in the game. You can just buy them from Dareth at this point. So we're going to head to the main Grimforge waypoint, so Underdark Grimforge. And the entrance to Act 2 is just across the way, so we just run down the stairs and back up to this gate. And if there are any quests that you're interested in doing before you leave for Act 2, now's the time. And sorry for the loading screens in this video. But Act 2 is pretty fun. We're going to not actually go all the way and enter Act 2. So before you enter Act 2 via the Mountain Pass or via the Grimforge, we have a meeting with Elminster, who wants to talk with Gale. So that's where we're going to do for the rest of this video.
Breathe deep and move.
And we'll gather everybody in the party and up to the top. And we can see Elminster's hanging out right here. He's the weary traveler. It's possible to pick a fight and win.
There, wanderer. Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
May I inquire if perchance you retain among your traveling companions a man who adheres to the given name of Gale?
So if you want to earn some extra experience, you can silence Elminster and then beat him down. It's not really worth it. You lose Gale as a companion. Certainly we're not going to do that in this run at all, and I wouldn't recommend it. So it's way more valuable to have a wizard than any amount of experience that Elminster might grant. So we do know Gale, and we'll just tell this guy that he's resting in camp, but we're going to ask who he is first.
Should it be the nature of our acquaintance that interests you, well, you may safely classify Gale and I as friends. Should it be the nature of your present interlocutor that you desire to drag from the dark and unknown, I shall be glad to aid in your quest for illumination and identify myself as Elminster. Elminster Ormar. Now, if this answer satisfies you, let us linger no longer in this limbo of indecision, but settle on your knowledge of the individual I seek.
So as a bard, we automatically know who Elminster is, and we'll just take the bard option.
Ever a man of leisure. Would it pain you greatly to assist me along the little voyage I intend to undertake to this aforementioned camp?
And we'll go ahead and go.
And I would confirm it to be so. Please, after you. My thanks for your excellent guidance. Ah, and yonder I spy the object of my pursuit.
Elminster?
The very same, Gale. And a fair bit miffed he is, too, finding himself forced to expose his best pair of boots to so many miles of country road on your behalf.
I don't understand. How so on my behalf?
I was bid to spare neither time nor my own self to find you. She sent me, Gale. You know of whom I speak.
But why? Out with it, Elminster. Please.
Young man, has your sojourn away from Bortity washed away your decorum as well as your patience? Nigh a 10-day I've gone without honest fare, worthy of the name. Drank naught but what the sky entitled my thirst. Why, some bread, cheese, and a cup of wine would appear unto me a feast. Surely you won't begrudge me a mite of rest and repast before I get out with it?
We'll just agree because it's kind of funny, so we'll say, where is your decorum?
Oh, for the love of... Fine, fine. I'll turn a deaf ear to the clarion calls with which my scorned stomach beseeches me. Graver matters are at hand. Plenty to digest, after all. A good deal to stew over, if you will. Words ladled with import should be savored so as to better absorb their meaning. Wouldn't you agree?
Elminster.
Right. You see, well, that is to say, Gale, my boy, I've come to address a most pressing matter.
I'll speak as plainly as I can, forswearing the accustomed frills that decorate my speech. I'm here on behalf of Mistra. The message and the charge I bring you are hers.
We'll say an actual divine messenger.
Oh, Mistra's delicate feet are ill-suited for the hardships of the road.
You know where you went wrong, Gale. No, we needn't dwell on that here and now. But even so, you're to be given a chance of redemption.
Mistra would consider forgiveness.
She would consider what she considers to be forgiveness. Mistra is aware of the misadventures that have befallen you both. She knows of your strife with the Absolute, that most insidious of evils.
We would love some divine intervention, so we'll take option 1.
The very purpose of my presence, in a roundabout sort of way. You must know that the Absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It threatens all who live, even those who are undying. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself. That is why I have come here to charge you, Gale, with its destruction. It is Mistra's belief that only you can.
And we'll ask how.
The all.
Precisely. Mistra has granted me the power to stop the clock, as it were, on the orb's rush to overpower you. Instead, you will be able to unleash its lethal combustion at will.
Interesting. This could be help. Or hindrance. We shall have to see.
You must find the heart of the Absolute, whatever that may be, and use yourself as the catalyst that will burn it from this world.
We will say that that's monstrous.
He is not. But it seems that Mistra is.
It brings me no pleasure saying this, my friend, but such is Mistra's will. Yours must be the sacrifice that will undo the Absolute, and for your sacrifice you will be redeemed. Such is Mistra's promise. With that, I've said my sorry piece, and need only bestow unto thee the charm I was bid. Italion thras annas. It is done. Both charge and charm have been committed into your care. To you, I commit into care Gale himself. I count on you to shepherd him well on this strangest of journeys.
We'll say that we'll find another way.
Or some other fortune altogether.
Like moons make swell and wane the nescient seas, so too the sky-strewn gods ordain the tidal fates of mortal days. And yet, an ocean born in lonely hours, come ebb, come flow, come all that is beyond the breadth of our dominion. Be a moon unto yourself. Even the waves of fate can break upon the shores of will. Farewell, my friend.
Farewell, Elminster. I'm glad she chose you.
So the be your own moon means, you know, to guide your own fate. So he's sort of telling Gale to make his own decision.
I have a lot on my mind.
An audience with Elminster is never less than memorable. I'd have hoped to introduce you to him in less dire circumstances. But those are hard to come by these days.
We'll say that he seemed like less imposing.
The Doddering Act is merely an illusion, one he's most adept at maintaining. Elminster is the most formidable wizard in the realms. Perhaps in existence. For Mystra to have sent him, the severity of her bidding could not be clearer, or weigh more heavily on me. Time seems so infinite when you're young. A month is an age. A year is a lifetime. It is a strange feeling to realize how little of it one might have left.
So we'll ask if he's seriously considering blowing himself up.
Of course. We offer the clearest solution to our problem. All I have to do is find the right place and time, close my eyes, and let go. Then the slate will be clean. Wrongs will be righted, the absolute will be gone, and I along with it.
We'll ask why she can't just do it herself.
No doubt she has the power to do so, but as for the permission, Ao would not look kindly on her meddling in mortal affairs. Divine intervention has a tendency to make things worse, not better. As for Elminster, he saved the realms more times than legend can recount. But to take on a god is no easy feat, even for him. My orb is the best chance we have. And only I can wield it.
So we'll ask if he's on a suicide mission.
Possibly the most spectacular one ever conceived. But essentially, yes. I'm living on borrowed time, in more ways than one. Perhaps this is how it must be. God remains ahead of us for now. The heart of the Absolute must be discovered before I can stop its beating.
We'll tell him that we're not going to let him blow himself up.
Let's save such certainty for the moment such a decision is upon us. We may feel differently once we know what we're truly up against.
Okay, and that's where we're going to leave off with this video for now, and I'll catch you in the next one.